Weaving Our Stories, the Uli movement. We collect stories that weave together our diverse experiences and build solidarity on the path to our collective liberation. Today we celebrate the Weaving Our Stories anthology, Return to Belonging, compiled and edited by Luana Peterson.
I am a tree. My roots run deep, mycelium connecting us at our feet. There is no me without you. There is no you without we. I am a tree. I exhale oxygen from the carbon dioxide I breathe. You breathe from what I release. There is no separation. There is only creation. You, me, we. We are the magic we seek.
We just got to keep trying, keep perpetuating in the ways that we can, where we can, when we can, whoever we can with.
One great model of solidarity right now is how everything going up on the Mauna is being replicated in all these different communities. Now there's all this access to our hula and oli and all these different things that were not accessible before.
One of the ways that you can start to feel a little bit of what that feels like is through the arts, because somehow those feelings are passed to you. And not to always say, oh, we're the same because we've gone through these similar really messed up things, because that's the narrative of the colonizers and of the oppressors. But no, there's more to our humanity that connects us than that.
Those who have power are more intimidated. They see a galvanization of power, particularly
Yeah, I stand in solidarity with a lot of movements, but I stand in solidarity with collective liberation as well. I'm not just going to fight for one person's rights. I'm going to hope to fight for all of our rights. I also think solidarity is checking yourself, your role as well. Like if you're an ally, understanding that you stand with folks or behind folks, and that your job isn't to wave the flag, but to sometimes show up and listen.
And share space and have the same sort of mind and heart. And people are able to have really evolved conversations about very difficult topics.
America by Allison Jacobs. The situation was stacked against us from the start. It was rooted in yesterday, and its seeds were sown in bygone times. The time when we were kidnapped and brutalized and forced to do unspeakable acts. It was nourished and rocked to sleep by a lullaby made of the oppressor's prayers for an economy of free labor, and these prayers, this religion, was used against us. It was nourished and grew stronger and more dangerous by the false accusations and the tears of women with no melanin. It bullied its way into an established culture like a cuckoo, laying its eggs into another bird's nest to be hatched and fed, stealing their nourishment. Its roots grabbed onto stolen land with a death grip, and it sprouted into a full-grown weed, a dandelion head whose seeds spread on the wind, far and wide like tiny white parachutes, spreading the spores of white supremacy and racism. Its form disguised itself like a chameleon, adapting to the color of the times. The plantation overlords and masters morphed into prison guards and wardens. We have no idea what the threat looks like, but we know. We know.
In March of 2021, France was hit by huge dust storms, storms that carried sand all the way across the Mediterranean from the Sahara Desert. It became a news headline, and images of rust-colored Saharan dust sprinkled all over French villages started circulating online. It was found that this sand and dust contained abnormally high levels of radiation, remnants of nuclear testing done by the French in the Algerian Sahara during the time of colonization. France detonated its first atomic bomb, called the Gerboise Bleue, near the desert oasis of Regan in southern Algeria in February of 1960. The bomb was 4 times stronger than the Hiroshima bomb. A second bomb, the Gerboise Blanche, was set off a few months later. Public records say that France tested a total of 17 nuclear bombs over many decades in Algeria, although the extent of the testing in the Sahara is still not fully known, as France has yet to declassify many of its colonial records. Many inhabitants of these regions of the Sahara have suffered severe health problems because of the radiation to date. The Sand Remembers is a digital collage that stitches together and remixes short clips of archival footage from the actual nuclear explosion in 1960 and recent radar imagery of radioactive Saharan sand being blown across the Mediterranean into France and Europe in 2021. The audio accompanying the images is sourced from the soundtrack of the iconic film The Battle of Algiers. The Saharan sand remembers, just as the Pacific waters do, just as the people do. The land and the water will remind us of what we've done and what we've been through, both the pain and the beauty. It will remind us that we must be accountable to each other, that borders do not exist, that everything on Earth is connected, and we cannot escape the violence that we enact on each other and the planet. The land and the water can also heal us, just as we can heal it. We're still here, and we still remember.
Everybody has housing. Everybody has good food. There are no more food deserts. Everybody has health care.
For trees and love and clean oceans, clean mountains, clean water. Water needs to be clean.
Opportunities to learn emotional intelligence, to decipher what happens to you, because what does that say? Like, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react. And
in everyday life, many Indigenous cultures have land, identity, community, science, art, ceremony, education is all intertwined. A form of art like hula can explain something that's both cultural and scientific and part of an education process, and everything is lived together and connected.
Kindness that is not difficult to practice, that is natural. When I talk about authentic kindness, like, there's no need for justice, because that doesn't exist, because everyone's kind and collective and helping.
And
And then if we're able to re-envision relationships, we can re-envision the systems that are supporting those relationships.
I feel like I'd have been freer to understand myself more as a youth. I'd have got way into entrepreneurship and as an artist, because as of now, I live my passion and live my fullest of who I want to be. But it took me to my 20s to understand that, to be self-aware, to really understand that to be happy, I have to be me and do what I want other than following the system. So I'd have found that out at 14. Who knows what I'd have been at 22 today.
Education for everyone, opportunities, celebration of individuality as opposed to fear. So whether you're cisgender, LGBTQ, gender fluid, whatever it is, you're accepted as the human that you are as opposed to what people expect you to be.
Whatever it is needs to involve Indigenous wisdom for sure.
This is our world. Our water matters, our mountains matter, our lives matter, people matter, love matters, aloha matters. We all have to make it work to save our world, like literally. If not, we all will mock it. We like it. We don't want that because we have future generations to live beyond us.
Aloha mai, this is Kealohi tuning in from unceded Tongva land in what's also known as Los Angeles County in Southern California. I would love to extend my deepest mahalo and gratitude to everyone who has contributed to making this book possible from start to finish. I am blown away by the artistry, and I'm so proud to be featured alongside such talented and powerful storytellers who contributed to making this book possible, capturing our joys, our resilience, our ancestral memories, and everything in between. I would also like to use my time to read a poem by Marwan Makul, a Palestinian poet, because the people of Palestine have been heavy on my mind and my heart lately while living in the belly of the beast, watching the atrocities unfold. In order for me to write poetry that isn't political, I must listen to the birds. And in order to hear the birds, the warplanes must be silent. Marwan's words have been heavy on my mind as well. They often remind me that our fight is intertwined, our liberations are intrinsically linked to one another, and no matter where we are, fighting imperialism, fighting occupying forces, capitalism, everything in between that disregards life, the aina, the people, we're all fighting against it. But not only that, we are building a beautiful future. We are building a liberated future, and I believe that's what this anthology represents. That is what this anthology shows, what it would be like for us to be living in that liberated future, and what it looks like for us all to create something beautiful when we're working in solidarity with one another. Free Palestine, end the genocide, deoccupy Hawai'i, and call for an immediate, permanent ceasefire. Thank you.
I want to send infinite love to you, Luana, and the Weaving Our Stories project. What an incredible project to be a part of. Thank you so much for including me. It has been incredibly revolutionary to be a part of this work. I have loved the students like they were my own children, and I feel like a big auntie over them and mother with them, and it's just beautiful. I've loved every part of it. I pray that Weaving Our Stories goes to the four corners of the earth. May it reach every corner of the earth to be able to transform and heal. I also pray that these healing circles continue with all of you young people among yourselves to tell your ancestral stories, to be able to share parts of your family as a method of healing. So this is a healing work. This is a beautiful work, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. Luana Peterson, you are an absolute genius, and I love you as my sister. So proud of you, and may we always walk these roads of life together to do revolutionary work for the youth. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless everybody, and I hope to see you soon in Hawaii. Bye-bye.
Mahalo and thank you to all of the wonderful contributors to this anthology, as well as everybody that's been a part of the Weaving Our Stories journey thus far. A special thanks to Luana Peterson for compiling, editing, and leading the way on bringing this amazing anthology to life. We can't wait to see where we all go together.